What's up, y'all? Welcome to another successful Sundays. Of course, I'm Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, the dopest life coach out there. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all having a very dope Sunday. I, for one, am excited about today's topic because it is three tips that I use personally um of how to boost confidence. I think when we talk about confidence, we think about, like walking in the room, your head held high, and oftentimes that's not all what it's about, right? Having a sense of confidence could be multiple things and in multiple ways. So we're gonna get into it real quick. First things first, let's just kind of clear out the air. We're going to breathe in through our nose and sigh out through our mouth. We're going to breathe in good energy, good vibes for the week ahead. And we're going to sigh out any negative vibes or anything that's holding a lot of weight and heavy for us. We're going to sigh it out through our mouth. So in through your nose, sigh it out through your mouth. Okay, on the second time we're gonna do it, I want you to hold it for 4 seconds if you're able to do so. So in through your nose, sigh it out through your mouth. One more time, in through your nose, hold for 4 seconds, sigh it out through your mouth. Yeah, we're just gonna clear out the air, get some good energy going, and all that good stuff. But welcome, welcome, welcome. So the three tips that I have for you kind of go in terms of self. And we skip over this a lot. We think of confidence, we think of how we walk, how we dress, and all that stuff does play a part. But I oftentimes think about how important is how you feel about yourself, how you genuinely feel about yourself. And I was watching a video the other night and she was asking one of our audience members, it was like kind of like a live she was doing, and she was asking our audience members if they can list 5 things that they love about themselves. And while on my couch I'm saying, like, I love this, I like this, and da da da. And the person behind the mic that was in the audience had a tough time saying those 5 things, and I couldn't help but cheer her on to kind of like figure, come on, you got this, like think of 5 things. But it was so difficult for her to think of 5 things. And very quickly I said, I'm like, I wonder if she not only just loves herself, but does she like herself? And I don't mean like in terms of like, I don't, it's not like a dig or nothing like that. I want to make that very clear. But self like is the first tip of how to build the confidence more within yourself. And it's an underlooked, like overlooked tip of how you actually like yourself. We talk about self love a lot, right? And I always often think, like, do we like ourselves? Do we like who we are? Because part of liking yourself is liking your own company. When I was like a teenager, there was quite a lot when I was like chilling by myself. And when I got into therapy as I got older, I was told, like, you were protecting yourself from a lot. You like your own company. Very much so. Don't get me wrong. I love being around people. I love hanging out with people. At the same time, I enjoy my own company, and that's self-like. Enjoying your own company and being okay with enjoying your own company and doing the things by yourself. And when I tell people, like, I go here by myself, I do that by myself, I'm very much met with, are you crazy? Why would you be doing that type of stuff by yourself? If nobody's available, I'm gonna go do it. I get it. Everyone has lives, everyone has things going on. But if I want to do it, self like has taught me to take myself out on dates. Self like has taught me to do things on my own. So, for example, I'll give you an example. There was a long time ago when I wanted to go to Miami. And I remember I just finished school, I believe. It was September. So parents couldn't make it. My friends who were parents could not make it. My friends who were in school themselves could not make that trip. But I had time off and I really wanted to go. So what did I do? I bought the ticket, found a hotel. I went to Miami by myself. My mother was losing her mind, by the way. And I ended up staying in Florida with some family as well. I took a flight over to Florida to hang out with them for a little bit until I went home. And that stuck with me. That kinda started my solo traveling adventures, and the more that I would have a plan, and if someone was unavailable or if people were unavailable, I'm like, "Alright, bet, I'm gonna go do it." When you hold yourself back sometimes from life, the time still passes, right? So I often think about if you wanna do something, if you have something in mind, why would you not wanna go and do it, even if it means you're doing it by yourself. Safety is obviously a priority, so make sure you take the necessary safety measures. Always do. But I like myself enough because I like my own company and I have a good time by myself as well. And I got to meet a lot of people too, which is kind of cool. When it comes towards relationships, this is where self like is also important. I'm going to break it down in different categories for each tip, but the first one again is self like. Um, When you like yourself, you don't chase unhealthy relationships. You know what your non-negotiable is. You know what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. You're not going to settle for the unhealthy connections just to feel not alone. You're okay with being alone. And I think we're seeing that a lot right now with women choosing not to have children, with women choosing themselves. It's some people could say it's not, but it's what a revolution it is to see women finally say, "No, I'm not settling for that, and I'm going to go after what I know I deserve." What a difference in the environment and society it is when you see that. It's super dope. It's super dope. It's changing and it's shifting and it's uncomfortable for many, but I think in this day and age, it's necessary so that we can shape the world because, I mean, at the end of the day, who really runs the world? We could say that it's men, but women create, and men lean on women when it comes towards energy. And I mean, it said he who finds a good man, good wife has a good life. So I mean, hey, that stuff's not being said for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But even when you tie it into your career, in terms of self like, you stop tying your value into just all the achievements that you have. Your self-worth isn't just up for debate. We're seeing it in real time where although it is a very trying time in terms of the job market across the board, we're seeing people really take a step back, be like, yeah, that's not it. It's not really hitting where I want to go, or um, it's not really challenging me. We're really, as human beings, really taking a step back and looking at what we really want within a career. And it's not saying that we're not just settling anymore, which is shaking up the job market, right? Like we could see it in real time that it is shaking it up. People are prioritizing their own mental well-being, their own personal development, personal growth. Because it's one thing for a company to put that like, yeah, we're here for you to grow, but then they don't actually foster that in the end. So yeah, people are waking up a great deal as well. And then let's talk about friendships for a moment. You're gonna choose a community that becomes um filled with joy and love. You're not just gonna choose one where you can't sit with people and be vulnerable and be true, right? You're going to choose like you choose a community because it adds to your life and not depletes, especially when it comes towards friendships. And as I gotten older, I've even noticed the conversations with my friends have changed greatly. but in a positive growth setting where we're having some deep conversations about life and business and investments and God. And it's so dope. It's so dope to have different friendships with different backgrounds, but they can add to my life in many ways, and I add to theirs in many ways. I think that is a cool factor to think about sometimes. When you like yourself, you're not gonna just settle for any other friendship just to not, be by yourself. So one thing you can do, and if you're thinking about, man, like, coach, this sounds super dope, but being by myself is still scary as shit. Hear me out. What you can do is start creating your own rituals. So one thing I love to do is every December or around Christmas time, I have family, don't get me wrong, but I decorate my own place the way I want to. I have my own tradition before I even head to my mama's house. I get up, I make breakfast, coffee, some type of Christmas type of coffee. I always get it every season. I may drop a little Baileys in there, depends, maybe. Uh, I make myself I call it like a Christmas breakfast. It could be pancakes, French toast, but I do the works for myself. I sit down, I enjoy my meal. I don't open gifts for myself because I always buy myself one gift a year. By the time it gets here, I'm already opening and using it. So there's nothing for me to open personally, and then I go and hang out with my family. But I have my own traditions, my own thing to do. You can have a moment maybe in the morning every weekend. You have tea time, or you journal every day, or you go for walks every Sunday, weather permitted. Um, End of the week, you could be, maybe you do a self check-in in your journal, like, "Hey, yo, what did I do this week that made me feel proud of myself? What are some of the things I could have celebrated and I forgot to, or maybe I could celebrate them today?" It's a good way for you to just get to know yourself even more, but also get to like yourself even more. And in the chat, if you're cool with it, or in the comments below, drop one thing that you actually like about yourself. Just one thing, big or small. I'll say one thing that I like about myself is I like food. I love food. In fact, I'm still eating a breakfast in between all of this while having my coffee and my water. Like, I love food. And for those who know me, they know I love food. Like, I like food a lot. And if you still find that self-like is something that is just kind of like tricky for you to navigate, by all means, like, my coaching program is there to serve you and help you. Right now, you could download a free toolkit. I'm gonna put it on the screen here. You could download my free toolkit, and the toolkit is there. The toolkit is there to help you set things up in the most like simplistic way. Hold on, I apologize. The toolkit is there to help you set things up the most simplistic way and get to know yourself, but it's practical and it's enjoyable, and it's deep but not too deep. Like, it's still deep. And if that doesn't really hit and you still need to do some one-on-ones, by all means, you could email me at info@dopelifecoach.com, and we could set up a 20-minute, let's say, consulting discovery call where we can go and back and forth and figure out what it is, the root to what you got going on. All right. Now, we're going to go on to the next step, which is a lot of people know self love. So far we have self like. We're getting into self love. This is choosing habits to protect your mental, physical, and spiritual health. Mental, physical, spiritual health. When we think about self love, I think we just think about, yes, I love myself. No, 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 no. It's getting into the nitty gritty, the habits that fuel that and foster that. And by protecting your peace, protecting your physical, mental, and spiritual health overall. And as winter is coming along and fall, we're into the fall season, leaves are changing. This is a good time for you to bring in more sunlight, because burnout may come even more. It may be in the forefront a little bit more. And how you can work through burnout, work through stress, work through the lack of sunlight is by self-love. Like, it keeps your energy tank full, which it means If you got to take a bubble bath, if it means that that's self-care as well. If you got to start just loving on you just a tad bit more, then do it. Cool way that you could do it is if you have friends, rolling back to the friends option is start telling them. I One of my friends checks with me every season. How's your seasonal depression going? A random message I'll get like, hey, we'll be talking all of a sudden. Oh yeah, how's your seasonal depression going? Shout out to her for that. And I appreciate that. By you being vocal and letting them know that, I get a little bit down on that time of the year, good friends will check on you for real. And if you don't have that, another quick way you could do it, send yourself an email. Set it up for a specific date. Let's say you set up on the Sunday, have it for Friday. Hey, this is me in the future checking in on you. How are you doing? We got technology, y'all. Start using it. Like, use it for the betterment of yourself. And when it comes to also self-love, it keeps you from overgiving or losing yourself in someone else's needs. As women, I know for a fact we are givers. We give all of our energy to the point we are depleted. Men, you give energy in terms of doing, and then you are tired. Where the self love comes in, it allows you not to just give to the point where you got nothing else to give to yourself. And I oftentimes think about like a cup like this. Many of us walk around just like this, and we still pour into other people, and it leaves us with absolutely nothing for ourselves. And self love is so keen and so important because it allows you to fill this up and maybe not always be full because life be life in and people will be people in, but it allows you to have like at least a bit more, a lot more than just this. I think this is maybe like 2 teaspoons, maybe less. I don't even know. Maybe 2 tablespoons, if that, or maybe just one. We can't survive on just that, right? And in terms of friendship, it helps you say no when you feel drained so you could show up being more present when you say yes. That is a massive boundary a lot of us have trouble with. Saying no when we really saying yes when we really want to say no. Too many of us say yes when we oftentimes are just like, I really don't want to do this. I'm not interested in it. I'm not feeling it. I don't wanna do it, but you do it because you feel guilty, people pleasing, you feel pressured. But by you saying, "Look, I could do it here, or I'm drained," you're honoring yourself, but you're also honoring them by not showing up with the energy of just bare bones. You understand? This is how a lot of us are showing up, still thinking that we're doing good. And although you have like a good heart in the situation, would you want anyone that has this much energy in them? Because this leads to irritability, snapping, upset, aggressive, anger, and you have no idea that this is what they could be looking like. You have no idea. Too many of us walk around like that. So, couple tips on how you could work through these. Are practical tips. I hope you're all taking notes. If not, you could save this for another time. Create a 10 to 15-minute non-negotiable daily routine. I have a list personally. What is like a couple non-negotiable daily routines that you could do starting for this week that you know for a fact is going to fill your cup up? Non-negotiables. It could be working out, journaling. It could be going for a walk for 10 to 15 minutes, putting down the phone and setting a timer to not scroll or nothing. Like, what are some daily routines that you could take? Reading a scripture, reading a book that you've been wanting to listen to or read for the longest time. By the way, the Libby app is free. Libby app is free. All you need is a library card. No more excuses anymore. Just saying. It's free. Schedule rest before you hit exhaustion. Start putting it in your calendar one day one day out of your 2 days that you're off or 3 days that you're off, however works for you, maybe an hour of you just chilling and resting, whatever that looks like for you. And that's a non-negotiable as well. Nourish your body with movement, warm, healthy meals, especially as we're going into the fall and winter season. It's a good time to figure out what type of soups or something. If you're not a soup person, pastas, I don't know, something warm and feels good, nourishing. We got YouTube, University of YouTube. They'll give you recipes beyond recipes. You got social media that does the same thing. Again, we got no excuses when it comes towards self-love and taking care of ourselves. And I want to ask you, like, what's one thing? Just one thing that you wanna prioritize for yourself this season. Imma start real quick. I wanna go apple picking, and it's just an activity, but I feel like just being outside, being just chilling out, vibing, probably getting an apple pie at the end of it will be so dope. So that's one thing, that's one it may not even be a habit, but it's an activity. I'll take a step back. A habit I wanna prioritize this season, oof, I'll be honest, getting back into weightlifting even more again. Walking has been great, but I miss my weights. I miss them. So I've already started getting back into it, so I wanna, maintain that consistency even more. And I'm just gonna go on to the next one, which is self-respect. Let's pop this right there. Alright. Now, self-respect is I kinda touched base on it with self-love, but self-respect is very much linked to boundaries, setting boundaries and not negotiating your worth. We have a tough time with boundaries as I'm gonna say Caribbean people, probably my African people as well. Probably my Hispanic people too. Anyone that has immigrant parents, it comes from some and the reason why I say that is because it's a respect thing. If you're setting boundaries, many people say that's disrespectful, and it's not, not at all. And oftentimes when those moments of boundaries need to be set is around the holidays, especially if you got kids. You may feel pressure to overcommit to this and that and dinners, or you may even if you don't have kids, say, hey, we got this going on, we got that. You may feel over pressure for all that. But self-respect, it keeps us from spreading ourselves far too thin and leading to burnout. Because many of us go through it. Even down to if you were the one who's constantly the patriarch and cooking and stuff like that. Start delegating. Get these people, I mean, especially if they are older. Start saying, yo, you pick up this, you pick up that. I ain't doing all of it by myself. My mama does that with us all the time. We like different households are hosting holidays now because she's like, I'm not cooking. Y'all have places. I'm not cooking the way I used to. She delegates it. Yeah, there's nothing, especially when it comes towards your own self-respect. Nothing wrong with it. Start delegating. Create those boundaries for yourself. In respect to relationship, self-respect means not staying in situations that drain you and you're just like keeping the peace, quote unquote. I'm just gonna leave that one right there. In your career, saying no to tasks that are undervalue your skills or push you past your limits. How many times have they tried to pile a bunch of stuff on your plate and you know damn well it shouldn't be piled on your plate? And it's tough because then you want to go to them and say, look, I can't do all of this. I do have this, this, and this. I could take care of that. Could you, unload some of the stuff for me? And if you have a good manager, good supervisor, good VP, they will be like, oh, my bad. I didn't realize I was dropping so much on your plate. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. I'll take this. I'll take this. If they're a good manager, I understand. Like in some cases, you ain't gonna get that. In friendships, recognizing when the energy exchange isn't mutual, especially if you find yourself it's not like the energy you're giving is not reciprocated. Reciprocation is key in relationships and it's key in friendships. I don't care what anybody says. So if you're not feeling it's not a back and forth, it's a good time to start creating boundaries so that I get that you may be here in your life. I'm here, but this is a boundary I need to set. Like I'll give you an example. Like me and my friends, whenever we go out, it's like one buys, they buy the next time, and we just keep going back and forth. Or if I go to their house, which should be an automatic, but I guess now it's coming with almost obsolete. If you go to somebody's house, you don't go empty handed. I mean, less and less I'm hearing about that, but you never go empty-handed. Couple of practical tips that you could implement when it comes towards self-respect is make a list of your non-negotiables for this season. Practice one boundary phase. This doesn't work for me right now. And unfortunately, I'm unable to commit to something like that. What I can do is X at this time, X to 3 hour mark, I'm out. Like, and that's just me. I need to keep that boundary because I still want to help, but at the same time, like, you can set boundaries with conditions is what I'm saying. I still wanna help, but at the same time, this is the best I can do. So you're still showing up, but you're only giving what you can't give. So you're not depleting yourself. So you still walk away feeling like I helped someone, but I also respected myself. And that's just it. Like boundaries can feel scary to set, especially when it comes towards family and you're worried about losing people. And I know exactly what that feels like because not only have I done the work myself, but I've also helped clients and work through how we can make those mindset shifts and set those boundaries and again create the tool and gain the tools to have peace in your own life and live the life you want to live. So, quick recap. Self-like, self-love, and self-respect aren't just about good ideas. They're essential when it comes towards how you want to uphold healthy relationships, healthy friendships, thriving career, and also just being happy within yourself. And that uplifts you in the season you're in right now. Self-like, self-love, self-respect. And remember, the fall and the winter season is coming in. So this is a good time for you to incorporate these and prepare yourself for the next level as we get into the new year. Self like, self love, self respect. These are the three confident tips that I have for you to how you can build confidence. I hope you enjoyed today's live session. Successful Sundays. Hope you got some good gems out of it and also a way to how you can incorporate each, if not all, into your week up ahead and moving forward. In the comments below, please drop any comments you have, any ideas you have of what we discussed. And I will see you on Tuesday for the new episode of the Dope Life podcast. Again, hope you're able to join today's episode and today's session. And y'all know what to do. Walk with peace, walk with love.